All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into your Valley News Now digital update. I'm Devin Fry, bringing you the latest that we've been working on in the Valley News Live newsroom. We're going to start by continuing to follow the latest out of the Twin Cities as the largest immigration crackdown ever continues. CBS News' Lana Zach brings us the very latest from the Twin Cities. A lot to cover in this one. We'll get right to it with this comprehensive report as to the latest in this immigration crackdown.
This is, in essence, a federal invasion of the Twin Cities and Minnesota, and it must stop.
Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison sued the Trump administration, claiming that its deployment of federal agents and officers illegally oversteps the state's law enforcement authority, quote, endangering the public safety, health, and welfare of all Minnesotans, and provoking protest in the process.
You've seen the videos. At times, there are as many as 50 agents arresting one person. The scale is wildly disproportionate and has nothing to do with keeping people safe.
Shame! Shame! With clashes continuing between federal law enforcement and demonstrators Monday, the lawsuit pointed to several alleged uses of excessive force.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you.
Including by the ICE agent who shot and killed Renee Good last week.
This deranged lunatic woman was trying to ram him over.
Trump administration officials claim it was a justified act of self-defense.
And we're feeling the impact here in Minneapolis. Schools have closed. People are afraid to go to work, shop, or seek medical care. 911 calls are up.
The lawsuit said there had been over 80 911 calls related to immigration enforcement since December 9th, estimating that skyrocketing police overtime costs could reach more than $2 million in just a 4-day span, with local officers reporting heightened hypervigilance and fear. And in a statement, the Department of Homeland Security said the Minnesota lawsuit was prioritizing politics over public safety, adding, quote, "We have the Constitution on our side on this, and we look forward to proving that in court."
And to give you a sense and scale of the federal presence here, the Twin Cities Police Department has about a little bit more than 1,000 sworn officers. By contrast, federal agents and officers number more than 2,000, and there are more on the way. Lana Zach, CBS News, Minneapolis.
Some more on this ongoing incidents, I should say, in the Twin Cities. The Department of Homeland Security also issued a release this morning calling on Minnesota to honor federal immigration detainers for more than 1,360 people in state custody, accusing Governor Walz of releasing nearly 470 individuals with criminal charges or convictions. The DHS also highlighted 6 individuals released who they say face charges ranging from sex offenses against children to negligent manslaughter. You can read more about those cases on our website right now, valleynewslive.com. The mugshots are also included on there from the Department of Homeland Security. And another interesting update from this is this post from President Trump this morning on his Truth Social account, escalating his criticism of Minnesota, warning that, quote, a day of reckoning and retribution as immigration tensions deepen. Trump accused Minnesota Democrats of exploiting the unrest to divert attention from fraud scandals. The confrontation comes as DHS has employed more than 2,000 immigration officers to the state and over 2,000 arrests since December. Deployed, I should say. I believe I said employed there. That's on me. Apologies for that. Another more local look at the ICE situation around here. Moorhead Area Public Schools, the school district sent a letter to staff and families addressing concerns about ICE operations. The district says that it does not request or maintain immigration status information and prohibits outside agencies from entering schools without a proper warrant or court order. District leaders also assure the community that students' privacy and safety are protected. Now, that letter came in response to some concerns that people in the community have brought up to the school district, responding in that way, letting people know where things stand on there. Looking at weather-wise, we normally hear from our weather team today, but we're just going to talk about it ourselves right now. As you can see, it is, once again, a borderline heat wave continuing. 36 degrees today. It did feel a little bit colder, but let's go ahead and take a look at what our First Alert Storm team has been working on today. We'll pull up the weather tab on our website right now. As you can see, Lisa Green telling us that while these warm days have been nice, some much colder days coming up ahead here, even tomorrow. Let's look at what we're expected to get. We'll go to the 3-day planner here. Yeah, a nice steady drop from a high of 40 today to a high of 14 tomorrow, and then right back up with some rain and snow predicted on Thursday. So our First Alert weather team continuing to monitor this situation and tell us the latest as these constantly evolving weather patterns continue. You know how it is in the area. And with that, we are going to talk about the travel conditions today. Obviously, with the heat that we've seen, it's getting a little slushy on the roads out there. We're going to take a look at what the road conditions look like before we get out of here, so be sure to stay tuned for that. We'll have that coming up later. Some more of what we've been working on here in the Valley News Live newsroom. This one takes us out to the case for Travis Bell. The victim's mother in that case is seeking a new judge in the case ahead of this trial for this fatal crash, which you can see in that dash cam footage right there. The mother of the 6-year-old girl killed in this 2024 crash involving Travis Bell has requested a new judge in the case against him. Bell faces charges of criminal vehicular homicide and injury stemming from a Highway 2 crash. The jury trial is set to begin January 27th. The North Dakota Supreme Court recently ruled that Bell's blood alcohol results will be admissible at trial. That was overruling a rule that had been set in place by the lower court saying that that was going to be omitted. Now, obviously, the alcohol results will now be admissible there. Another update from the court side of things, D'Angelo Hunt's attorney is now seeking for a 6-month continuance as he continues to gather evidence in this case. Defense attorneys for D'Angelo Hunt, who's accused of killing his brother and a dating partner on tribal land, the Spirit Lake tribe, are requesting a 6-month trial delay, citing extensive evidence and case complexity. Hunt faces 10 federal charges, including second-degree murder and voluntary manslaughter. Prosecutors have indicated more than 300 pieces of evidence, and the defense says the trial is going to last roughly 4 weeks, so they're seeking that continuance there in order to help build the case. And some more information for you. Fargo police are still asking for security footage from the public in the case of 25-year-old Isadora Wengel, missing for more than a week now. Investigators want footage from between 7 p.m. and midnight on January 3rd from the area between Calico Drive South and 30th Avenue South. I have the map here of this is the area where they are looking for any video from or any evidence from in this case here as they continue to look for Isadora Wengel. Police say they believe foul play was involved. They have searched a Fargo apartment and, of course, the city landfill. We reported on that over the weekend. One person was detained and released, but at this point, no arrests have been made. If you have any information, you are urged to contact the Fargo Police Department as they continue to investigate this case. We're going to get the right video pulled up here. There we go. Coming up tonight, the father of a man killed on Spirit Lake tribal land over the weekend is speaking publicly for the first time about the loss, exclusively with us here at Valley News Live. It's about the loss that he and the community suffered in this tragic event. Jessica Bringy caught up with Anna Ballweber as Anna prepares to bring us this emotional story tonight. I do want to go ahead and remind everybody this is a very sensitive and emotional topic, so just a little bit of a warning moving forward here.
We're back with a digital exclusive with Anna Ballweber. Anna, this one's heartbreaking. You spoke to the family of this man who was killed just recently. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, so this is Jesse Clark Davis. He went by JC. He was only 31 years old, and he was recently murdered on the Spirit Lake Reservation, and that was on January 11th, so a couple days ago. It's just absolutely heartbreaking, and I got a chance to speak with his dad, and they share the same name. So Jesse Michael Davis is who I spoke to earlier today, and if you can't tell, my eyes are pretty puffy right now. It was an hour.
Emotional. Yeah,
kind of tearing up right now. I mean, it was really tough.
And I think the aspect when we were chatting that really is heartbreaking beyond just the grief of losing a son, this father was willing in the moment he learned his son was dead to forgive his son's killer.
Yeah, it was right after he went to the emergency room. I'm not sure if it was, the next day, but there is the juvenile that's in custody. And someone called him and said, hey, they're transporting him to wherever. You need to get down here. And he was like, are they waiting for me? What are we waiting for? he went there and he's on the squad, bars, talking to his son's killer, saying, "I forgive you for everything that you did." And he's standing over him, praying for him. I've never seen anything like that. So we did talk about that in the interview earlier this morning. And that's what got me. That's what's getting me now too. It's to comprehend, I don't even know if I would be able to look that person in the face,
Exactly.
let alone look you in the face and say, "I forgive you." He said, "I love you."
Which is an extraordinary moment of the power of forgiveness. Yeah. And we are going to hear much more and actually hear from the father coming up at 6 o'clock.
Yep, tonight
right.
at 6.
Okay, thank you so much, Anna.
Valley News Team's Harrison Prey here, giving you a sneak peek on one of the stories we're following as ICE enforcement was reported in places like Detroit Lakes and across Minnesota. Fargo business owners are responding and asking questions about their legal rights. We speak with an immigration attorney and what you need to know if you're approached by ICE tonight on Valley News Live at 6.
Thank you to Harrison and, of course, Anna and Jessica for bringing us a preview of that story coming up tonight at 6. Obviously, like I mentioned a little bit ago, an emotional one, and we saw that emotion coming through, not just in the interview that Anna had, but even just talking about the subject. It's a lot to take in, but we're going to have even more coming up tonight at 6. Be sure to stay tuned. Now, we are getting close to that 4 o'clock hour here. We got about 15 minutes now. Change in real time to Valley News Live at 4. Let's go ahead and check out the road conditions for any of you who are at work right now, getting ready to head back on the road, getting ready to go home. As you can see, mostly green. Good news. We like mostly green. There is a little bit of blue, which is, of course, affecting our area. Now, what the blue is wet and slushy roads. It's to be expected, with the warmer conditions that we've had. One thing to watch out for with these wet and slushy roads, it's supposed to get a lot colder tonight. That might freeze up. Be sure tomorrow to give yourself plenty of time as you're getting ready to head out the door, even all the way up the interstate from Fargo all the way up to Grand Forks here. Or no, it stops at around the Buxton area. That's when the roads seem to steady up a little bit there, according to the North Dakota DOT maps. And of course, for our viewers in the Northern Valley around the Can-Do Rugby area, some wet and slushy roads there as well. So if you're about to make your way out the door, or for getting ready to come home, or for the first time today, I'm not going to judge you, whichever way you might land on that spectrum there. We got you covered. That's all we have now for Valley News Live, or for our Valley News Now digital update. Again, Valley News Live at 4, set to start in about 14 minutes here. Be sure to stay tuned. Duke Schindler has you covered on the air there as well. Of course, we have shows at 5, 6, 9, and 10 as well. We're also going to have you covered on the digital end all throughout the day. Make sure to download your Valley News Live app for the latest news and weather. We're going to have it delivered right to your phone. But for now, for your Valley News Now digital update, I'm Devin Fry.